What is up, guys? Okay, welcome back to the channel. So today I've got something pretty damn special for you. So most of you guys are probably reading that already and seeing that it is a high capper of sorts. Exactly what high capper it is, I'm going to reveal to you now. But first things first, before I jump into this, some of you guys may have noticed that there was a bit of a teaser trailer that was released a couple of weeks ago for the Sandviper from Double Bell. And for those of you guys that have been following, here it is. So I made you guys wait a little bit, I do apologize, but nevertheless, we did release that trailer a couple of weeks ago, and obviously today we're going to be going over it. So there it is, right there. So this is the new Sandviper from Double Bell. This thing is incredible. It is absolutely insane. Much like the Pit Viper that you guys would have seen in the John Wick series, and obviously the Pit Viper has been making waves in the airsoft industry for a while now. This is the sort of, I wouldn't say upgraded version, because obviously internally it is almost identical, exactly the same as the Pit Viper, but that color is just something else. So that, like I said, this is one of the newest iterations. It is literally just another variant of the Pit Viper, just obviously called the Sandviper for obvious reasons and its colors. Now, first things first, we're going to be talking about is obviously external. So externally, not a whole lot of difference. If you guys are familiar with this Pit Viper, you will notice that the grip is ever so slightly different, obviously the color, but of course one of the main things is of course the fact that you have no iron sights. This is a little bit strange for most guys. Now it does come out with absolutely nothing, not even so much as a front sight, but it does have this RMR plate right here. Now RMR is one of those things that's not really all that accessible in airsoft just yet, but when you do get them, most of the time you are limited to mounts. You get them for Glocks and a handful of other guns, but not so much for high cappers and things like that. It's most of the time you have to get custom stuff or import it directly, which obviously costs a whole lot of money. Whereas nowadays you have your RMR mount fitted to the gun, ready to go, and it is obviously designed to run with a red dot. You can still operate it without. I mean, you would probably just need to sort of point shoot, but you can operate it without a red dot, but ideally it is designed to run with a red dot, as this gun is more race gun as such. So externally speaking, not really a whole lot of difference, not really a whole lot I can say. It is a fantastic looking weapon. One of the things that you guys will like about this, and you would have noticed it upon the Pit Viper as well, is of course this little grub screw in your trigger, which obviously means that your trigger is fully adjustable. And of course, like every other high capper, you do have fully functioning dovetail safety. So if that is not depressed, of course it's not going to work. And of course ambidextrous safety on the chassis right there, and of course slide lock back, which is a little bit tough when they're a little bit new, but they do tend to loosen up. Now one thing I do want to talk about is a little bit of a concern. I see some guys are a little bit sort of nervous about the quality of Double Bell, and it's literally this. Now this was one of the first things we noticed on the Pit Viper, which obviously the real steel one does not do that. Now one of the things I want to explain, guys, that it's not a quality issue. It is simply just, it's an airsoft replica, which means it is a replica. Yes, it is designed to copy the real one, absolutely, but there are certain things that you just can't get away with. Like for example, let me just try and lock this slide again. Just bear with me, new guns, there we go. No, not quite. Okay, let's try again. Here we go. Okay, anyway, now like I said, with the real guns obviously you won't have this sort of issue, but obviously you cannot get away with that with airsoft guns. You do need this sort of free play. You need these moving parts in order for the gun to operate correctly and efficiently. It is unfortunately just the way it is, and it is also one of the reasons why most of you guys would remember me talking about silencers on clocks and things like that, which just doesn't work. It is because of this. You do need that sort of floating barrel with airsoft guns. Unfortunately, it's not exactly ideal. It does tend to get to guys a little bit, but it does work nevertheless, and it is not a indication of bad quality, because quality on Double Bell, while understandable, I understand that a lot of guys are still kind of nervous about them because strictly speaking they're a new brand to the retail market, of course, but they are not all that new. I know some of you guys would have heard me talk about Double Bell that have been around for like the last 10, 15, maybe even 20 odd years. For those of you guys that are still running old school AEGs or older generation AEGs, chances are it was made by Double Bell. These guys have been making guns for pretty much everyone else on the OEM side for a long time, and only recently decided to release their guns to the market, and of course this is the result. So of course there is going to be a bit of concern about quality because it is a new item, but it is simply not the case. Quality is not the issue here. So that being said, let's dive on to the internals here. So obviously I'm not going to strip the gun, I'm not going to open it up for you guys. for obvious reasons. It is brand new. As you guys saw, the slide release is still kind of sticky and a bit stiff. So taking it apart, yeah, I'm not really too comfortable doing that on camera, so let's not do that. However, one thing I do want to point out internally here is, if you guys are familiar with WeTech guns, which I'm pretty sure most South African airsoft players are, as WeTech is probably one of the most common brands we get here. If you are familiar with WeTech, this is pretty much WeTech spec internally, so identical to WeTech parts. WeTech parts are pretty much compatible pretty much across the board. Obviously a few parts will be proprietary, but generally speaking it is WeTech spec. But where the thing comes, or where the difference comes in, is of course quality. Now again, quality with Double Bell, one thing you guys are going to want to know is that everything is CNC'd. So internal parts, even though it is WeTech spec, much like a WeTech, almost identical, it is CNC'd, unlike the WeTechs, which obviously means a little bit stronger. Okay, well, a little bit is a bit inaccurate. A lot stronger, should I say, and of course a lot more reliable. And for those of you guys that are concerned about spares backup, yeah, it's not going to be a problem, because Double Bell have thought of everything. And of course, obviously, I know some of you guys are going to be looking at this going, oh, that's G. Yes, these particular kits are for Glocks, yes, these are the first kits that we've got, but they exist for high cappers as well. It's just the high capper platform is still becoming popular here, so therefore we haven't got these as yet, but they are on the way. So nevertheless, you can get full rescue kits for both your mags, your gun, and of course spares, accessories, that sort of thing. It is all available with Double Bell. No issue with them whatsoever. So all those concerns that you guys may have, yeah, look, you are going to have the odd teething issue here and there. That is normal. I can almost guarantee that pretty much everything on the face of the earth at some point will have a bit of a teething issue. You know, let's try and think of something a bit more universal here. Okay, it's something that we use every day. Cars. For the love of all things holy, a vehicle brand can release a brand new car now, tomorrow, and out of 100 of them, maybe 2 of them will have issues. It is unfortunately just the way it goes, but the quality is not an issue here. So any concerns that you guys may have on the quality, no, not to worry. So that being said, before I bring this video down to a close, for those of you guys who have noticed in our previous videos, this is now the 3rd video this month. I know it is crazy, but the last 2 videos, if you guys have watched those, you guys would have noticed that there is a discount code. That is our latest little thing for you guys, and trying to give back to the community by giving you guys a little bit of discount. And who doesn't love a little bit of discount? So while you're at it, go ahead and hit this little code right into your checkout, and that'll give you 5% off this wonderful little pistol right here. So that being said, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you today. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, keep us going, and of course save up those discount codes, even though they only last for a month. But grab yourself a nice sexy sandviper and get yourself 5% off, and we will see you guys in the next video.